Hi everybody, welcome back. So you've got yourself a train set. What do you do next? Let's have a look. So for this example, I'm going to be using my Santa Express because I'm making a little layout for the Donegal Railway Museum. I thought this would be an ideal to show you the basics of a train set and setting it up. So in most train sets you're going to get a circle oval of track. You may get a point and some straights. You're going to get some sort of power supply, and of course you're going to get a loco and some wagons or carriages. So let's have a look at putting the track together. So here we have a couple of pieces of track, and you can see here this is what they call a fish plate, and the same on this side, and they're used to help join the track together and carry the electricity through the rails. So you simply just line them up. Now this can be a bit fiddly, so if you've got a train set for your child, you might have to do this bit. You can just push them together. And when they're new, they are quite tight. And that's just the piece of track put together. Now it's the same on the curved sections. Again, fish plate on one side, on the other, and you just simply line them up and push them together. Like so. There we go, there's the track set up. Now when you get your train set, most of the boxes will have a little diagram, something like that, telling you the sort of size you need. Now when you first set this up, you're probably going to set it up on the floor or the kitchen table or something like that. I've built this little baseboard here, and I'll quickly show you what's involved in that. So this baseboard, I've made it 4x4 because that's the size I need for the layout for the museum. It's made of 9mm ply. As a top, these are scrap pieces I had, so there's a couple of pieces making that up. And then the underframe is just simply made from 2x1. So you can see it's just got some cross members and a frame around the edge, and that makes it quite sturdy and light as well, so it's easy to get in and out. And for your first layout, this is ample. It's the sort of thing you can get out, put on the kitchen table. You can store it under a bed, even put it on the bed to use it, lean it up against a wall. So this is what I'm starting off with. So obviously you've got your track on now, you've got it all pieced together. Make sure if you're giving this to a child that you do it with them, because there is some sharp edges to that and it can be difficult to do and can be easily broken. So do it with them, put it on the table. Now you need to connect up your power. This Hornby set has this power track here, where the wire from the controller simply just clicks into place. And then you just plug your power adapter into the controller, switch the power on, and you should be good to go. You just apply some power, and away it goes. And there you've got your track set up, ready to play with. There we go now, we have the train running, a couple of carriages on behind it. But should we try turning this train set into a model layout? So if you've gone ahead and you built the baseboard, the size you need for your oval of track or whatever you have, let's try adding some ballast and a little bit of greenery just to give it that extra little bit of flair. Now, the first thing we're going to do now is we're going to permanently pin the track down. Now this is a great idea because then it means you can just get the board out and play with it. You don't even have to do any further scenery than that. Just have your board and have your train on it. If this is for your child or grandchild or nephew, niece, whatever, it's something you can make for them. And a great idea is to build this with them, because children, the most thing they want from anybody is your time. And this is a great way of bonding with kids, sitting down with them, playing with them, and going back to being a child yourself and having fun. And let all those adult worries fade away and just have some fun with your child. So what we're going to do is we're going to pin it down. Now, if you want to watch any of my other videos, they go into more detail of doing scenery bigger and better and everything like that. But this is just a basic startup. This is just to have some fun, get your child in there, let the child use his own imagination. Probably want to put their dinosaurs on there, their farm animals, their toy cars, everything. It's all going to not be the same scale and it won't match, but it doesn't matter. It's all about getting in there, having fun, bonding with your child, and letting them use their imagination. So we're going to pin this down. What I've got here is some track pins, small little pins. Get these in any model store, buy them online, and we'll just go around and put them in. You don't need to put, a lot of this track has got holes in it already. You don't need to put a pin in every hole. A couple per piece of track is fine. What I use is I got an old magnet here, and I just use the magnet to hold them all in place, so it's easy just to pick them off. I've got an old bolt here I use for driving it in so I don't hammer the rails and damage them. But before you do that, make sure your track is clear, so all the trains and everything's off, the power is disconnected, and just run your finger around the rails. By doing that, you're just making sure that every track joint is level, because you don't want to pin it down and then find, oh, you've got a misaligned fish plate or whatever. So just run your finger around and that'll soon tell you if one of them is misaligned. So I'm going to go ahead and pin this track down now. So here we go. It's one of the holes in the track. Put the pin in, give it a couple of taps just to get it started. Apologies, anybody who's listening to this on headphones. You've got it started, then just use your bolt just to drive it in. There we go, it's in. That bit of track's tight now, it's not going to move. I'm going to put another one at the other end of the track. So there's another hole here, so I can put it in there. So I'll carry on, do that with all the track, and then we'll come back and look at it then. There we go, now the track is all pinned down. If I lift it up, you'll see it's not falling off, it's not going anywhere. Okay, so that's the basis, the start of your model railway. You can leave it there and let yourself or whoever have fun with it, play away with it. But we're going to add a little bit extra to it now. We're going to do some ballasting around the track. I'm going to show you what I use. This is cheap and it can be very effective and just adds a finishing touch. So I'll show you how I do it. Just make sure the area you're working in is clean, dry, level. Put something down on the floor because this can get messy, so you're not damaging anything. But I'll get the materials out and walk you through how we do it. So we're going to do some ballasting. For those of you who don't know, ballast is the stones that you see underneath a railway track. So for my ballasting, I use this, which is just aquarium gravel. Got this from Pets at Home. I think this big bag here was about £8. You can also use chinchilla sand. If you look there, it's got a grey sandy colour, ideal for the use as ballast. So we're going to take the gravel, we're going to just use a spoon, put it onto the tracks like that, and then we're just going to get brushes, various sizes, and we're just going to brush like that till it fills in the gap between the sleepers. Just keep going backwards and forwards, taking your time. Again, something you can do with your child, or whoever it is you're building this with, and just get it to where you want it. So, and once you're happy with the look, you can use the back of the spoon just to give it a tap, and that will help it bed in, and also any little bits that are left on the sleepers, they'll vibrate off, and then you just use a different size brush just to go over, fill in any holes or any gaps. And you just want to make sure that it's away from the inside rail, because obviously that's where the flanges of the wheels go. And if it gets in there, it can cause derailments. But it's not the end of the world if it does. Just to glue it all down, we're just using PVA glue, which again, I got this in the pound shop. Obviously it was £1, and this should be more than enough to do this whole layout. So for doing the ballast in there, you've probably already got paintbrushes at home. You've definitely got a spoon somewhere. You're looking at just probably under £10 to do this. And again, it's something messy, some make and do you can do with your child and have a bit of fun. So I'm going to go around now, put all the ballast in place around. If you've got a point, you just need to be careful when you put the ballast around the point that the point still works. So I'm going to go and put the ballast all around, show you that, and then I'll show you how we glue it in place. There you can see now I've put all the ballast around. I haven't actually used that much I haven't filled this at all, so there isn't that much used on there. So a small bag of this will go a very long way. I've taken the PVA, I've put it in this 500ml bottle, and you want to mix this 50-50, so 50% glue, 50% water with a little drop of washing up liquid in it. The washing up liquid's there to help it break the surface tension and get it down into the ballast. So you get to put that in there, give that a good shake. First thing we're going to do is we're going to spray the ballast with what we call wet water. So this is just an old spray, water in here, again with a drop or two of washing up liquid or rinse aid. And again, that just breaks the surface tension and allows the water to get down. So this is the messy bit. Obviously you've got to be careful when you spray it, you don't blast the ballast out of the way, so do it from a bit of a distance. You'll also see around here, I've put some masking tape just around the edges so you can stick some cardboard or screw on a bit of wood or masking tape, whatever, just to stop it falling off the edges where it's close to the edge. And here where the hole was for the wire to come through, I've just put a bit of masking tape over that just to stop everything falling down through it. So what I'm going to do now is just go around, spray this from a distance, all the way around, so you're getting it good and wet. So getting this all wet, it will allow the glue then to seep down through it and hold it all in place. I do have more in-depth videos on ballasting where you can buy tools to help you do this, to spread the ballast and everything. If you search through my channel, you'll see the tools I use. But for something this size, just a couple of brushes and a spoon. It takes a bit of time, but if you and your child are doing it together, there's a bit of fun, bit of time together. They might get bored and wander off, and you might finish it off, but it's all about spending quality time with your child for me. So I've got, again, picked these up in Poundland. I think there was a pack of 3 again for £1. These are like sort of ketchup bottles you would see in some cafes. So I just pour the mixture of PVA and water into here. And then I just use this and just going along the center, just dropping it all the way around, and you'll find through capillary action, it will seep out through the track on the undersides and hold everything in place. Now, if you've got any questions on railways or anything like that, I do have a live stream. If you've got any questions on model railways, I do do a live stream most Thursday evenings at about 7:30 UK Irish time. So you can come along to that, ask any questions. We're a friendly bunch. So if you've got any questions, just ask them in the chat. Or you can email me or just put a message on any of my videos and I'll usually pick it up. But yeah, if you subscribe to the channel, there's lots of information there on model railways on how to do different things in model railways. Because this is your first step, really, of a model railway. And then you just build it up from there. So I'm just going to work my way around, putting the glue in all the way. Now, when you're doing this, you don't have to do the whole lot in one go like I'm doing here. You can just do a section at a time. If you have a bottle like this, you can pour the glue back in it and put the top on, and the mixture will keep for, well, the mixture that was in there for months, and it's fine. But just go around, and anywhere there's ballast, just put the glue, and it will seep down through all the ballast. Now, this time of year, depending on where you've got your layout, if it's in a shed or a loft or anything like that, it's going to take a bit of time to dry, being the winter time. So if it's in a nice warm room, you're probably looking at a good 24 hours for it to dry. And obviously, if it's a shed or attic, it's going to be longer. But you'll know when it's dry because it'll be rock hard. Again, coming around the point, just be careful where you put the glue because you don't want to glue the blades. So just a couple of drops in there. because the blades you're using to carry electricity through, so you don't want to get the glue on the insides. But after we've done this, we'll need to clean the track anyway, and I'll go through cleaning the track once this is dry. But just take your time, put the glue around, say putting it in the center like this, it'll seep out and keep the shoulders in place as well. There we go, I think that's enough glue in place now. Now what I like to do is, once it's in place, is just get a wagon of any sort and just run it around, because it may be as you put the glue on you disturb some of the ballast. Also, the layout shouldn't be connected to power or anything, but you just run that around just by hand, and that'll just make sure there is no ballast stuck to the inside rails. It'll just help clear it off. And now it's just a matter of leaving that to dry. So we'll come back in 24 hours and we'll have a look at it. Okay, we're here now. It's the next day. The ballast mat is dried. What we need to do now is we need to clean the rails, because also we put glue and everything over these rails. So if we try and run something on it now, it won't run. So to do that, go to your model store or online and get yourself what they call a track rubber. Now this one is by Pico. I recommend this one by Gauge Master. It's the pink coloured one. And with that, all you do is you just rub it along the top of the rails. That's all you need to do. And do that all the way around. Whatever you do, do not use sandpaper. That will destroy the rails and give you more problems. Get one of these. Alternatively, go to the chemist, get some methylated spirits or surgical spirits, use a cloth, and rub that along the rails. That will also clean them. If you go to an auto factors and get some electrical contact cleaner, you can also use that, spray that on a cloth, and again wipe off the rails. That's the best way to clean track. Do not use sandpaper. So I'm going to clean this track, and then we're going to have a look at what we're going to do next. The track's all nice and clean now. So now, next thing, we want a little bit of scenery. So this is where you have a chat with your little person, see exactly what they want to do. I'm just going to get a base layer of scenery on this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got some brown poster paint here. I'm just going to paint all the board the brown colour. Obviously not on the track, just the exposed bits of wood. You can have a chat with your little person. Maybe they want to put some roads in, so you can draw all the roads in where you want them to go, where he wants to put his buildings or dinosaurs or whatever, and then just paint brown all the other places, and then just get a grey paint to paint the road, and then you can get a little bit of white and do white lines down it. Something simple. So I'm just going to paint this board with this, and then when it's dry, we'll come back and look at the next stage. There we go. I've painted it all brown. Leave it to dry now. I've left this area clear because this is where the controller is going to go. But the rest of it's brown. I'm going to put what we call green scatter on that. But once this is dry, we'll come back and we'll have a look at that, how that's done. Let's go ahead and add some greenery to this now. In here I've got some green scatter. You get this at any model store. You can buy it online. So to apply it, we're going to get some PVA glue. Just squirt that on. Again, this is just ordinary cheap PVA glue. Got that in Poundland. Get a brush, just brush the glue around. So you're just painting the surface area that you want the scatter on. So we do this a section at a time. And then you can just use a smaller brush to get it in around the edges. Then we're just going to simply take the scatter and sprinkle it on. and wherever you put the glue, the scatter will stick to. So all I'm going to do now is leave that to dry for about an hour, and then we'll come back and vacuum it off and see how it looks. So the scatter's been left there on the glue about an hour now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to vacuum off the excess so we can reuse it. Now to do that, you just get a stocking and put it over the end of your vacuum cleaner hose, like that there. And then it's going to get a bit noisy now, the vacuum's coming on. And you just hold it above the surface and that will just vacuum off the excess. And then you can return that to the tub. So this is why you do it in sections. You do a section, then you've got vacuum it off, got the stuff that didn't stick, and then I can do the rest of it. Also, while you're doing this, you might find an area where you haven't put some glue on that hasn't stuck. Just wait for the whole thing to dry, go back over, a little bit of PVA glue, a little sprinkle of turf on it. There you go. Also the same with the ballast, is after you've done the ballasting and you find there's a little gap somewhere, a little bit of PVA glue in there, sprinkle a little ballast in, cover up the hole. That's done. So I'm going to carry on now, do the rest of this layout, and then we'll come back and have a look at it. So here's the start of your model railway. We've got ballast on the track, we've got some greenery down, now the rest is up to your imagination. You can see there's a couple of patches here I need to touch up once it's completely dry, and I've been using masking tape around the edges to keep it tidy, stop any falling off onto the floor. This area here is 4 foot by 4 foot, 120 centimetres by 120 centimetres. I used about 2 bags of this, of the fine turf. Got a couple of bags, green grass, burnt grass, mixed them together. This is the 21.6 cubic inch or 353 cubic centimetre bag. So that's what I use there. You can get bigger tubs, just go to your local model store. All in all, the cost for doing this, the ballast was a couple of quid from Pet Shop. Glue, another £1. I used the same glue for putting down the scatter. The bags of scatter are about a £5 each, that's about a tenner. And then whatever you spend on actually building the baseboard you want. I think I spent, it's about 50 quid for the wood for this. So all in all, for about 80 quid, you've got the start of a nice model railway. Now, where you go from here is up to your imagination. Just have this with your little person, enjoy playing with it. They can get their dinosaurs out, their tractors and farm stuff, whatever they want on here, their Lego, build little houses, build little tunnels. It's completely up to you. This is the start of it. And it's something to spend time together and enjoy playing with. So if you want any more information on model railways, subscribe to my channel, check it out. Don't forget, I do a live stream most Thursday evenings around 7:30 UK Irish time. You can pop into there if you've got any questions, and I'll try and help you out as much as I can. Big thank you to my channel members and patrons, whose names will be scrolling here. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button for me, leave questions and comments down below. I'll pop another video here and here with the subscribe button in the middle. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.